Welcome to Backyard Cigars. I've got Plasencia, Cosecha, 146, La Musica, Robusto. And it measures in at 5 by 50. And we're talking about a blend of Honduran and Nicaraguan tobaccos here. So we're talking about a wrapper that is Honduran Criollo, a binder that's Nicaraguan Criollo 98, I believe, and the filler, a blend of Honduran and Nicaraguan Criollo 98. And this is by the Plasencia family. So they've been doing this thing, I think, since 2017, 2018, where they named a line of cigars after the crop number or the harvest number. Cosecha meaning harvest or crop. And it marks the 146th time that they have harvested since they began harvesting back in 1865, if I'm correct about that year. And that's a long time. And I really would have thought that there would have been much more than 146 harvests, but that's just how it is. It's 60 plus degrees, but it's very windy today. 50 mile, 20 mile per hour gusts. Nonetheless, a very nice day to smoke a cigar if you have some patience and you can avoid some of the windiness that can affect the burn line. Not affecting this burn line whatsoever. This is really well constructed, and I'm loving the look on this wrapper. It's just nice glossy finish to it. And you get this peppery taste. Not right when you light the cigar, but as you get into that first inch and in the finish, you get a little bit of that pepper, that peppery earth tone. And for those of you that like and can appreciate sharp cedar, I'm more of a soft cedar guy. But if you like a sharp cedar note, it's kind of present here in the first inch in the beginning of the cigar. It's a 5x50 Robusto. You know, this is going to take up an hour of your time, basically. And you have to be willing to invest an hour of your time in order to enjoy a Robusto for the most part. Some of us can go through it a little quicker. I actually think it's burning a little faster, but I feel like it's going to slow down at some point. And right now, I'm going to get more acquainted with this cigar and come right back. Now, it's a nice medium bodied stick. It has medium flavor, medium strength. This is a good cigar that you can have after lunch in terms of its strength. Good for as in terms of its strength, but I don't want to pass judgment on the cigar just yet. It's just way too soon. Some of the flavors I'm getting are pretty basic, just earth, cedar, some pepper. Nothing crazy going on, and not that I'm expecting anything crazy. This is the Plasencia family. They have made so many cigars that have pleased us all and that we have loved, and they do it with so much expertise that sometimes I'm surprised if the cigar is not everything I thought it would be. Now, when we start talking about cosechas, harvests, and the actual numbering of these harvests, then we're kind of going into that vintage territory. A territory that a lot of cigar folks within the industry have talked about in regards to the transparency of the cigars that we smoke. So you've probably heard that before on other videos that I've mentioned, where transparency is something that the industry is indeed lacking. So Cosecha number 146 was from the 2011-2012 crops, and they blended the two together, and that's their origin story, right? That those were the years when these crops were developed by Plasencia. Developed is the wrong word. And they harvested the crops. I mean, that makes more sense. Why am I saying developed? Anyway, got caught in the noise of the sirens behind me. If for the viewers that check me out often, and you hear all the sirens, they drive me just as crazy. And I try to do the best I can to talk when I don't hear sirens, and if I do hear them, then I hit pause and I begin again, because I just don't want you to be as annoyed as I get when I hear the sirens. But the cigar, on a windy 15-mile-per-hour day, is just holding up. The construction, I mean, the burn line is just beautiful. Just beautiful. Now, MSRP on this cigar is usually about $11. I think that's rather fair, if you ask me. And that's on the Eastern Coast, but if some of you have to pay a lot more than $11, then I feel for you, and I'm sorry that I even brought price into it again, but I just always happen to mention that. This cigar has been kept in the humidor for 3 months at 67, 68 RH. I've just been waiting for the right moment. I know that they've already released Cosecha number 149, and I'm sure they have many more Cosechas that they're going to release. And this is my first experience with any of their Cosecha lines. I'm just, forgive me for saying this, or maybe don't forgive me, I'm feeling a little underwhelmed. I think it's a good cigar. I really, really do think it's a good cigar. I do. And I like Honduran tobacco for the most part. I don't like it as much as I like Nicaraguan tobacco or Dominican tobacco, but I have nothing against it. I've had plenty of really good Honduran cigars. I'm just not feeling that this is bringing anything special to the table. It's a good cigar. This is the Robusto size. There might be some slight variations in the Torpedo or the Toro and so forth. I mean, I'm in the final third now. It's just the flavors are, they're okay. You know, you got some pepper, not too heavy. You got some light spices. You got some sharp cedar notes that have toned down a bit. You've got some earthiness. It's a grainy type of earth. It's not your soft, lofty earth. I'm into gardening, but never mind. I just kind of feel like it's all right. And when I smoke Plasencia cigars, I'm expecting more than all right. I'm expecting through the roof and wow, and this is amazing, like Alma Fuerte, or you know, some of their other Campo de Guajira, some of their other lines that when we've had them, we think to ourselves, whoa, this is really something special. And I don't think that this should take anything away from the cigar in the sense that you shouldn't avoid it. You should definitely, I mean, it's definitely worth trying. It's not a bad cigar, like I said. I'm not gonna mention that again, but it's not doing to me what normally happens when I smoke the Plasencia cigars. That's all. And that's just my opinion. You may see that differently, and that's totally okay as well. Got some good aroma on the stick. Got some excellent primo construction. It isn't often, and I will give them props for this, it isn't often that you have a burn line so well behaved, regardless of the Vitola size. And it fell off on its own after, like, I don't know, 3 inches in, and it's just been something that I don't have to concern myself about. I don't have to concern myself with watching the burn line or touching it up or anything like that, especially on a 15-mile-per-hour day with 20-mile-per-hour gusts. You get the idea. It can wreak havoc sometimes on your cigar smoking experience. Very windy day, but this one has held up. It's a nice glossy looking wrapper, oily sheen to it, very durable. I know it's not really cold out today, but it is 62, 63 degrees, and there's very low humidity. So what does that mean is that it isn't the warmest of days, and you know, this is not a hefty wrapper, but it's holding up like one. So I'm just gonna say, look, good cigar, worth a try. See what you think. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Till next time on Backyard Cigars. Thank you again for watching.